How's it going, guys? Quick video going over my trades from the day. Starting off, we had a nice move on SPY. Um, kind of got lucky on it, but I played this inverted hammer. You can see we have this trend line draw from pre-market. I was more the conviction came from SPX. XPX had a pretty large trend line that we were rejecting. Once we got this bearish inverted hammer, I was like, okay, we're gonna go test this low day support again. Um, I got out pretty much 20% at this low day. So I think my entry was once we were heading back towards this trend line on this wick, got in around 426.35, got out around 425.9 area. So got about 40 cents out of that one. Then we ended up just switching right back to call. So once we got this trend line break on this candle, I entered on this candle, the next one at 740, and played this one and pretty much until we got to the supply zone at high day from pre-market. And this supply zone pretty much turned demand, and then it broke, and it got a little choppy towards the end of the day. But this zone worked really well throughout the entire day. So we had those two at open, and then we switched over to Oxy. Oxy was a play that I took. Sorry, I should have done this one first. This was a descending wedge triangle setup that I was eyeing for a breakout early in the day. And I pretty much just my idea was I'm just going to take calls on that first candle. I think that we can get a strong enough momentum gain. It doesn't matter what the market's doing because Oxy usually doesn't care about what the rest of the market's doing. And I pretty much just took this right off the gate, got a nice 20% out of this. I think I sold within the first candle as well. Got it in around 63.75, I want to say, and exit around 64.4, somewhere around there. And then I ended up playing Oxy again. The setup was looking good, and I played this as a descending wedge. You could see it ended up going back and kind of creating that lower high and then breaking out later in the day. But honestly, that's not what I played. I played this and I entered predeterminedly just because the fact that I was very bullish on this setup. Got in some on this bullish hammer, added more at support, and then we got that last boom and pretty much just sold the last amount of these contracts once we were struggling in this. Once we were rejecting this multiple times, that inverted hammer, that's pretty much when I sold the last majority of these contracts. So we made a couple of plays on Oxy. Apple, I made a play on. Probably wasn't the best play, but I was actually just laying in my bed, drawing on my phone. And I was like, all right, I'll play this real quick. And I was just playing this as a trend line break. You could see we were making lower highs and lower lows. So I was thinking, all right, we've gone a couple bounces. Looks like the trend has shifted. Almost got faked out in this inverted hammer, but I stuck through it, and then we got that launch pad, that second candle. So I ended up selling them pretty much after that first candle. Got like 15% on it. Wasn't expecting much. It was midday. Was expecting chop, so I got that candle. It was a big candle for Apple, relatively. So I was happy with that. Last play that I took, well, I actually took this one before Apple, but I took a SPY put, and this was a very risky trade, and I probably wouldn't do it again. But it was something that I was eyeing as okay, I can get a quick 10% on this 9 out of 10 times, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that quick 10%. I wasn't expecting anything other than 10%, and 10% is exactly what I got. And I'll do that a lot. I'll go pretty heavy, and what I'll do is I'll enter right at my stop loss. So if it goes any higher, I'm stopped out for maybe -2%, maybe -4%, but that's it because I'm getting stopped out right there. So I entered puts as close as I could to the supply zone. We had a nice tweezer bottom coming off of the support, and that's why I was only expecting around 10% on it, because I knew from previous days when we have something like this at a low a day test and we bounce really hard, okay, we're going to see more upward movement, but first we're going to see a little bit of retracement. So what I'll do on this, and I'll always go to the 3 minute, and all I'm trying to get is a 50% retracement back to the fib. So we got this 50% retracement, and that's when I sold my puts. It worked out perfectly as planned. I played this trade a couple of times before. This is my first time making it. And it's one of those where you have to have conviction on it to not hold any longer. This inverted hammer, a lot of times, especially when we're in a supply zone, you might think of this as, okay, well, we have further room south, but you always have to pay attention to these previous candles. And this thing bounced out of the supply zone so quickly. Bulls were in full control. And that's when I was like, okay, this is going to bounce hard, but not quite yet. I think we have a little bit of room south. So I entered as close as I could to this resistance, got in around 0.5, I want to say. Took this rejection for about 30 cents, 20 cents, got around 10% on that, called it good. I did enter a couple swings. I posted them on my Twitter. I took some snow calls, some AMD calls, and then I have spy puts as a hedge. AMD had some whack late day action, but I still like the looks of that breakout. I also like NVIDIA. With this wedge late day, I wouldn't mind seeing a gap and go. I would love to see that. So obviously, we got an inside day on the indexes. We're looking at some pretty large moves. We got OPEX tomorrow, though. That's options are expiring. Last time this happened, they were all messed up across the board. So hopefully we don't get a repeat of that, and we should be looking at a trend day. To be honest, I'm going to be playing things as if we get a trend day. I highly doubt we get a double inside day, considering that I don't think has happened in a long time on SPY. So that's it for today. It was a pretty good bounce back day. Got Nothing was huge, because we had that inside day. I wasn't holding anything for really long. We had a lot of chop. So it was a lot of 10 to 20% gains, which I'm perfectly fine with. Hope you guys had a successful day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you.